Now, if you're anything like me, then you can never get enough of these strange but true stories from human prehistory. So let's take a journey back in time and explore the fascinating tale of an ancient man who loved a predator. This is the legend of a forgotten bond. Imagine a world thousands of years ago, where survival was brutal and every day demanded courage. Now picture an ancient man standing in the wilderness, not armed with spears, not surrounded by a tribe, but face to face with a predator capable of tearing him apart. The firelight flickers across his weathered face, his eyes holding no fear but something far stranger respect. This was not a clash of man versus beast. This was the beginning of an impossible bond, a story hidden in the dust of forgotten time. This is the story of coexistence, a relic of a prehistoric past, so ancient, it predates recorded history. Somewhere deep in the heart of an untamed wilderness, where ancient trees whispered secrets older than time itself, there lived a solitary man. His name was lost to the ages, but his spirit echoed in the solitude of his existence. He was a hunter, yes, but also a gatherer, a storyteller, a thinker, a poet, someone who had stared into the abyss of existence and found himself staring back. Then came the predator, a creature whose very presence struck terror into the hearts of men, a being of raw power and primal ferocity. Wolves, lions, bears, dinosaurs, maybe even a saber-toothed tiger. These predators roamed the earth during prehistoric times, their strength and prowess spoken of in hushed tones around flickering campfires. But this predator was different. Its eyes held a depth that hinted at an intelligence beyond the animal realm. There was a spark in its gaze that challenged the hunter's understanding. It was as though the predator, too, was engaged in a silent battle of wills, a dance of dominance and submission. Their initial encounters were filled with tension, a deadly game of cat and mouse played out against the backdrop of a primeval forest. The hunter was skilled, his senses honed to the subtlest rustle in the underbrush, his movements fluid and silent as the falling snow. But the predator was equally adept, its lithe form weaving through the trees with supernatural grace, senses attuned to the slightest tremor in the forest floor. But as days turned into weeks, something extraordinary began to unfold. Instead of fleeing, the hunter found himself returning to the clearing day after day. Each visit was a gamble, a test of courage and trust. He would leave offerings of food at the edge of the clearing, then hide nearby, watching, waiting. And with each passing day, the distance between them shrank. On the other side of this unlikely relationship stood the predator, a creature of pure instinct, driven by the relentless pursuit of survival. Yet it too seemed drawn to the ritual, emerging from the shadows with a mixture of curiosity and caution. The predator was magnificent, its musculature rippling beneath its thick fur or sleek hide. Its eyes, like chips of amber, glinted with intelligence and a hint of something akin to respect. As the weeks turned into months, an intricate dance began to develop between the hunter and the predator. It was a ballet of unspoken understanding, a dialogue conducted in subtle gestures and meaningful glances. The predator would approach cautiously, sniffing the air, assessing the offerings, and then retreating into the safety of the woods, only to return again. Perhaps to claim its prize, or to renew the silent pact that bound them together. The hunter wasn't merely surviving, he was thriving. He was learning to live in harmony with the forces of nature, bridging the divide between man and beast. His tribe might have scoffed at his solitary existence, but he had forged a bond that transcended the boundaries of species. Yet as time marched on, the peace of the clearing was shattered. One stormy night, as rain lashed against the trees and thunder cracked overhead, a pack of wild animals descended upon the hunter's camp. They were vicious and unrelenting, their eyes gleaming with primal hunger in the flickering firelight. The hunter, caught off guard, stumbled back, his meager weapons useless against such a determined onslaught. Just when all hope seemed lost, a blur of motion erupted from the darkness. It was the predator, its form a dark silhouette against the raging storm. With a ferocious growl, it charged into the fray, its strength and ferocity surprising. The predator fought with the desperation of one protecting its own, driving back the attackers with tooth and claw. The hunter, awestruck, could only watch as the creature he had come to respect defended him. Their ancient dance of dominance and submission, now a battle for survival. In that moment of chaos and peril, the hunter realized that he was no longer alone. He had a protector, a shield against the darkness. The predator, wounded but resolute, stood guard over the hunter, its amber eyes blazing with defiance. Together, they weathered the storm, their fates intertwined in a bond that defied the savagery of the wild. Finally, as the first rays of dawn pierced through the heavy clouds, the attackers fled, leaving behind a scene of carnage and one undeniable truth. The predator had not only defended the hunter, it had become his ally. The hunter emerged from his shelter, blinking against the morning light. The clearing was a mess, a testament to the ferocity of the night's battle. But amidst the debris, a new understanding had been forged. He approached the predator, his movements slow and reverent, and touched its head, his fingers tracing the lines of its powerful neck. In that gesture, centuries of animosity between man and beast seemed to melt away. It was a silent acknowledgement of the bond they had forged in the crucible of the night, a bond that transcended fear and embraced mutual respect and understanding. From that day forward, the clearing became a sanctuary, a place where the hunter and the predator met as equals. Their interactions, once fraught with tension, now flowed with ease. The predator, sensing the hunter's peaceful intentions, relaxed, allowing him to examine its wounds, to tend to them with herbs and care. In turn, the hunter shared his meals, ensuring that the predator never went hungry. As seasons turned into years, the clearing echoed with the sounds of their companionship. The hunter would sit for hours, sharing stories of his world, of the sun and the moon, of the changing seasons and the bounty of the earth. The predator, in its own way, would listen, its head resting on its paws, its amber eyes reflecting the hunter's every move. Legends say this story marks the roots of connection between humans and animals, a bond carried through time into the dogs, cats, and loyal companions we know today. The predator that once was enemy became ally, rewriting what it meant to coexist. It shows us that the greatest strength is not always in weapons, but in the courage to offer trust where no one else would. The lesson: fear divides, but trust transforms. Even the fiercest walls crumble when respect is given instead of hate. That ancient man's courage still echoes in Usta, reminder that bonds formed in the harshest times are the ones that outlast empires. This is the story of coexistence, a testament to the transformative power of respect and understanding. It is a tale as old as time, yet as relevant today as it was in the prehistoric era. In a world often divided by differences, it serves as a beacon, reminding us that empathy and understanding can bridge even the widest divides. The story of the ancient man who loved a predator is a reflection of our own capacity for compassion and connection. It challenges us to look beyond superficial differences and recognize the shared humanity, or in this case, the shared existence that binds us all. It whispers to us that true strength lies not in domination, but in harmony, not in fear, but in understanding. It's a story that refuses to be confined to the annals of history, lives on in our shared consciousness, echoing through generations, urging us to see the world in a new light. The bond between the ancient man and the predator, forged in the fires of adversity, serves as a timeless metaphor for the potential for connection that exists within each of us. It transcends the boundaries of species, cultures, and time, resonating with the deepest chords of our shared humanity, or should I say shared existence. So as you sit by your fireplace or lie beneath a canopy of stars, remember the tale of the ancient man who loved a predator. Let it be a guiding light in your darkest moments, a reminder in your times of need, and an inspiration in your journey through life. For in the end, it is the stories like these, whispered from the dawn of time, that shape our understanding of the world and our place within it.